Today's video is about the real estate market on the North Shore of Chicago. Hey, it's me, Katie, and I have been selling real estate for over a decade on the North Shore of Chicago. I have a team, and I feel that one of my biggest strengths is understanding the market dynamics, the little tiny things that happen in the market. Now, I'm always looking at the big picture, of course, as most people are, and if you're a buyer or a seller out there, you might be looking at the big picture of the real estate market across the country. But when you get really down to it and really tight in a local market, only the local agents can tell you exactly what is going on. Now, I have another YouTube channel that is completely focused on selling your home. It's a national channel. We've got almost 30,000 subscribers. And so I'm talking to people about selling their homes across the whole country. But when I'm talking to somebody in a very local market, I think it's really important that they find their agent to talk to about what is the market doing. So the market on the North Shore of Chicago is really interesting right now. It's not anything like I've ever seen it. We have been dealing with low inventory for at least the last year, but it's seeming to sort of not really die out a little bit, but we're getting a little more inventory because people who are listing their homes are listing them too high on the market. So here's the thing. If you think you're going to list your house and you're going to list it really high, if you don't sell right away, it's really the kiss of death. And so that's what I'm seeing. So all of these buyers out there who are thinking there's no inventory, yeah, the good things really go very quick. And the issue is that they can still be overpriced. But as a buyer right now in this market where there doesn't seem to be inventory, I'd really tell you to start looking at some homes that didn't get picked up immediately, because a lot of these sellers are taking flyers and they're saying, the market's so great, we're going to be able to list our home really high, and then a buyer's going to come in and pay it. But you can't really fake out buyers on what a good property is and what a not good property is. So if you are a buyer in this market right now, I want to encourage you to start looking at the homes that are maybe on the market 30 days. Most of you are going to say there's something wrong with the house, but mostly what's wrong with the house is that it's overpriced. And if it's overpriced, it's going to sit there. And so I want you to look at these homes that are on the market right now and maybe say to yourselves, would I like this house if it was $100,000 less? So I don't really encourage buyers to go out there and kind of low bid offers, because the sellers, they want what they want. But if a home in this hot market has been on the market a while and it's not sold, it's always going to be at the price. Now, in the North Shore, I'm going to show you some charts, and I am not a huge chart lover. I love looking at what I'm seeing, kind of boots on the ground. And this chart is going to show you the home sales price over the last 3 years. And as you can see, the prices have gone pretty much out of control. The average price on the North Shore of Chicago in the last 3 years has gone up by $200,000. Yes, $200,000. Now that's a combination of there just not being any inventory and the interest rates going up. Now, after COVID, kind of during COVID, I feel like there were a lot of people that wanted to move, and a lot of people ended up leaving Illinois. It is a fact there are a lot of people who are leaving Illinois. Now, the people during COVID who left because they wanted to. And they might have left for a lot of different reasons. Maybe they just wanted to get out of the state. Maybe they could work remotely. Maybe they were sick of their taxes. Maybe they wanted their kids to be back in school and they went to a state that allowed the kids to be in school. With that being said, people who wanted to move out of the state pretty much already moved. So getting into 2023, I really feel like most people who wanted or could move did. So the people who are in the North Shore right now are people who definitely probably want to stay there, or they have family and they need to stay there. So I think a lot of people are just sort of set in not going anywhere. Now, the lack of inventory has been across the full country, but in the North Shore, people are not buying homes in the same town sort of and moving up in the town. And so there's just not a lot of places for these people to go, and they're thinking, well, we have a 3% mortgage rate. We don't want to change that to a 7%, even if we're trying to downsize, because a lot of times people do downsize, they go into something smaller. Now, the problem is that the interest rates are so high that the cost of the homes is going to be just as high in their current home. So the reality of the situation is that the sellers right now do not want to trade their 2 or 3% mortgage for a 6 or 7% mortgage, so they are definitely staying put. And buyers are thinking, well, we're still moving. For example, buyers coming from this city. When we bought our first house, the interest rate, I don't know, it was like in the 6s or something like that, maybe even the 7s. And so it was what it was. we didn't know anything different. So the buyers coming from the city are still buying, and they are buying at these higher interest rates. They're not thinking, oh, my interest rate is 3%, now it's 7%. They're thinking, I need to get a home. So there are still buyers out there, and there are still multiple offers out there. But the problem is that the prices on the homes are really, really high, and sellers are starting to take a flyer on it. And so the buyers are thinking the house is not worth that. So what I feel is happening right now on the North Shore of Chicago is it feels a little stagnant, because I think the buyers are saying enough is enough. We're not going higher. We're not going to bid over these prices unless it's a home we absolutely have to have. So when you have the mid-tier homes or just the average homes, which are maybe like, a colonial that needs updating and there's nothing really special about it, you have to hit those prices correctly. And for the buyers, I encourage you to go and look at these homes that have been sitting on the market for a little bit too long and see if you can get them maybe for a lower price point that it should be in. So what I see happening in the current market right now, I can probably talk about 3 months out, is that people are overpricing their homes and they are starting to sit. Even on the homes that we've had that I thought were sort of priced correctly, we're not getting the multiple offers that we thought we were. And so I feel the showings drying up just a little bit. So this is going into August. I feel September could be a little bit different, but it's hard to say right now. August is not my favorite month to list a home because a lot of people are out of town. So if you're a buyer, it might be a good time to pick up a home because a lot of people are out of town. Now, if you guys know you need help selling or buying a home on the North Shore of Chicago, we've got you covered. We have a full team to help you. In addition, I'm working with you on the strategy, on the ideas, on the offers, on the sales. And you can reach out to me below. We do have our seller's playbook and we do have our buyer's playbook. And both of these are going to help you figure out how to find a home, how to buy a home, and how to sell a home. And don't forget to subscribe. If you're feeling that this is real content that can help you, I'm giving it to you exactly how I see it, which is the real truth.